chasing almost 200 and getting there with several deliveries to spare, 10 to be exact. And that at the end looks like an easy victory, but it took a bit of effort and it took a bit of magic. The Indian players may have passed the yo-yo test. Today, the entire team passed the ro-ro test. And what a wonderful innings it was from the man who knows how to score double hundreds in 50-over cricket, and now he makes scoring hundreds in T20 cricket look just as simple. To review that series victory here on Cricbuzz Live, Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan in the house. How easy did Rohit and company make that look? We were talking about the effort, and it was a stiff target, but no matter how small the ground, you just needed a special talent to get there.
Well, amazing. I think, the way Rohit Sharma gets going, and when the team needs him, he's done it on so many occasions. Today our team needed someone from the top order to fire, and especially Rohit, because he's got this ability so consistently every time. Whenever he is in, he can get out. He gets out very early in his innings, but if he's set, he's so destructive, I think, and time and time again, he's just proving that he's an asset to have. And I'm sure the debate of him batting middle order or whatever the competition around, it can be any kind of healthy competition around in the team, but I think this guy needs to consistently bat at that number.
He's the man who says it. Each time we even start that debate, he doesn't get into a long answer. He says, how many double hundreds? How many hundreds in T20 cricket?
Absolutely.
Now it's 5, more than any other Indian player.
PLRO, I'm the president of PLRO. Please let Rohit open association. And again, I mean, absolutely. But tell me one thing. Before this innings, okay, we reviewed a lot of matches together, but today you called it. You called Rohit. What was it that made you say that today Rohit's going to be the man?
Because he's someone who can't keep him quiet for the long time. And especially when someone like KL Rahul also got 100, Shikhar has been getting starts, and he did get that 96 or 97 in Ireland as well. So he was in good touch, and today especially he looked in the zone right from the word go. He played that flick to Willie, stepped down, got to the pitch of the delivery, and made it look so easy. Shorter boundaries today. So I was just hoping that it was his day.
Yeah, I think you put it right. That particular shot really set things up. But we kept telling ourselves every time, just let him not get out, because there are times he looks in the zone, but he gives it away. I mean, he's his own master. And today he said,
absolutely. My theory about that is, I think when he's in that zone, it's so easy for him that he's going to try and he might do something stupid, because I mean he can hit every ball, and that's the point that he has. So you're just worried that he just bad decision making, because otherwise there was that one ball delectable where he bowled and went outside off, and the bowler chased him with a slower, and the amount of time he had, he sat, he waited, he could have had a cup of tea and hit that for 4. Amazing batsman.
But really you'll have to say, no matter what, brilliant from the batsman, but you'll have to give credit to the bowlers for pulling it back. We talked about it in the mid-show. England should have got 230 in their sleep, and they fell short. And you could see they were significantly short there on that.
But they stayed in the game, but the debate around the bowling department is one, and very valid debate. I think that Kuldeep had to be part of this 11. We mentioned that in the mid-inning show as well, that irrespective of the result, I think wrist spinners and especially Chahal and Kuldeep have been creating that kind of impact. So it doesn't matter what kind of situation it is. And yes, if you're in really bad form or struggling with your rhythm, you understand. But when you've had a performance like that, when you've taken a 5-wicket haul, you don't deserve to be sitting on the bench, and you don't treat a batsman like that. When you see someone like KL Rahul also scored 100, next match didn't really score, but you're not going to drop a batsman on one performance, and same logic needs to be applied to bowling as well, and especially when a bowler is in form. He has to be playing more and more matches when a bowler is in form.
And probably, I mean, this will go down into those trivial annals of players who have had a brilliant performance and been dropped the next game. Some haven't played for the rest of the career, be it the likes of Jason Gillespie, double 100, never batted again for Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think, there's one thing that I always believe, and this is, there are two things when you make a decision for a team. You make a decision saying, okay, this is what is best for the team. And here's what my problem with that is. Their players are human beings, they're not automatons, they're not robots that you take out one and you put in another. When you take a decision to drop a player or to put him away, you're playing with his mind also. So no matter how much Rohit, somebody like Kuldeep says, no, this is for the team's sake and all that, don't feel that it won't impact his play. And that's, I think, very important, because players need that sort of certainty, calmness. What is the great part about Dhoni? Dhoni gives his players that certainty. Don't worry, you'll perform, you'll play, till I tell you that you're going to be dropped, you don't need to worry about it. And I think that's the one thing that I'd say, that, sometimes Virat is an impetuous young captain and his need to do the right thing. Sometimes I think just pushes it that much, saying that, Arey Rohit, somebody like not a Rohit, somebody like a Kuldeep will understand. But it's not always that easy.
No, this kind of call is justified. When you have the likes of Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, everyone fit. You are going in with two inexperienced bowlers as well in the match. And this kind of scenario, then you need a more experienced bowler now. Kuldeep now has played enough matches. So from that point of view, also maybe they could have looked at the situation differently.
Yeah, maybe they felt with all the last time we heard from Kuldeep, he was talking about how I actually practice getting hit for 6, so my mind gets clear. So maybe they felt he's such a strong young man, he's fine, we can just put him aside. But I'm sure he'll come out of it better. He'll know overall in the series win, that's what he played a role in. And we talked about it earlier. India, every time they come up in a 3-match T20I series, they come up on the right side of it. And here it is, updated to 2018. It all started in Sydney in January 2016. And now it's a 2-1 victory for India in 2018 at Bristol against England, winning the first game at Old Trafford. They came second best at Cardiff. And this was, well, you'd have to say it was a good third match, given the fact that they were chasing 199. But as we felt on that particular ground, restricting them to 198 was more like a 170 type total. So full credit to India in both departments of the game.
Also, if you look at that stat, what I loved about it is there were only 2 3-0 wins. 3-0 wins, so you're finishing it. So 2-0 you win, you're under no pressure. 6 of the 8 were at 1-1 when they went through. And that's really important, because those are the wins that are important, because 3-0 wins means you're dominating the opposition. At that point in time, you're looking much better. But 1-1, you're going into a crucial match and winning. And if you see that this thing, except for that Harare win with his 3 runs, all of them are emphatic wins. They went on and they smashed them in their final thing. And that's really important. I think you're seeing something here. You're seeing something that was not associated with India maybe 15, 20 years before, a certain amount of steel. And that's fantastic.
It's a great indicator of killer instinct, and I think determination and to deal with pressure in big match scenarios. So the series win matters, and how you go in that last match, the mindset and the belief that matters, and this stats actually shows the remarkable consistency in delivering the goods.
Yeah, and sometimes the manner does matter. I mean, we could have had, for the sake of fans, or neutral fans in particular, an exciting match, last over, just like we had in Cardiff. They made it exciting, took it to the last over, as Chahal told us in that press conference. But there are other times when you say, no, the manner doesn't matter. You want to trample the opposition. You want to go into that ODI series with not just heads held high, but feeling that, okay, you guys are second best and we are starting on top at Trent Bridge.
Well, today's scorecard shows that. The lowest strike rate is of Virat, which is of 148, which is close to 150. Everyone today, like Rohit Sharma, scored 100, but at a strike rate of 178, which is remarkable, I think. And Shikhar Dhawan, didn't get the start, but his strike rate was also 160. So that shows. Hardik Pandya, of course, played superb innings at that stage. Probably the game was in India's hand with 7 wickets to go, but still to score those 30 odd runs in that situation at a strike rate about 200 was important.
I know before the show we were talking about the fact that you wouldn't classify this as a floater, but I'd still float this point out there, saying that maybe not quite classically the floater, chucking him in a 3 or 4, but given that Kohli was out there, got out, it was obviously something that had been planned, because if we need quick runs, Raina'd be padded up, Dhoni'd be padded up, but Hardik Pandya would also be padded up.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the moment you come to the last 7-8 overs, all the finishers will be padded up. That's when sometimes in your batting order, you're missing out 3-4 and going straight to 5-6-7. And all 3 of them would have been, I think what they do now see is that Dhoni now requires those 3, 4, 5 balls to get set. And I think what they looked at and said was that let him go for it from ball 1. And I think it was a really good call. And I think India will increasingly take these calls where if it's a very, very tight thing that you need immediate runs, Hardik is going to be the man they'll send up front, especially when it comes to those last 5-6 overs.
And they'll have memories of Cardiff. I mean, the fact that England looked like they were romping home, they were home and dry, but one good over and suddenly it was taken to the last over, and India didn't want to take this to the last over, no matter how well Rohit was batting.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And see, the other thing is they took pressure off Rohit. He took the pressure off Rohit. He took it upon himself. He started taking the risks. And that was really important for the Indian team at that point in time, that he started taking the risks from inside, because the idea was that Rohit shouldn't take risks. Whoever now bats from here on, the other guy will take the risks. Rohit will only take the risks when there are no other respectable batsmen left, and that never came to pass.
And you'd have to say, if you look back at the batsmen who were dismissed, one was an unfortunate dismissal, one was a catch, unbelievable. Actually, both Jordan's catches were really unbelievable. One plucked off his own bowling, and the other, we really didn't think he'd get in the outfield. So there was no question of ball beating the bat at all throughout India's innings.
Well, I think it's just sheer brilliance with the bat. You look at the intensity of England fielders, the way they were wanting to create situations. It's all there. I think England did everything they could. I think on a given day, but I think Indian batsmen were just too good for the day.
Even if you look at how Dhawan got out, I mean, he just flicked.
Yeah,
that's one of those.
That was again brilliant catch. So
exactly.
They were
one
brilliant
foot
in
either
field.
side and you're gone.
Yeah.
That would have gone for 4. You would have flown up. I mean, that's a dolly of a ball on this thing. So it was just none of these batsmen got out to a situation where you say, wow, the bowler created a bit of brilliance.
I think one thing for sure after today's game and the first game, the way India played, for England to have some kind of chance in the series, and I'm talking about whether it's one days or test matches. I think they need to prepare wickets which are going to suit them. If they play on wickets like this, if it's a good batting surface, they'll have a tough time beating this Indian team.
Yeah, I guess they were feeling that with a bit of green on that, but I think Michael Vaughan got it spot on that it might be green, but it's only green to look at. It's not going to behave the way a green wicket suggests it could behave, and hence help the England bowlers.
I think it's like a jackfruit, green on the outside, brown inside, It's an Indian wicket inside. Bahar jitna green dikhai, this is an Indian, flat Indian pata wicket which we got. And, on this kind of track, they can't beat us. He's absolutely right.
Okay, I threw out a couple of shockers. I'm going to throw one more at you. Could we possibly have a semblance of a possibility that for the second match in a row, a guy will score 100 and not get man of the match? Could Hardik even push Rohit slightly for it? 4 for 38, scoring at 200, finishing off the game. I'm just being.
4 for 38 actually. 4 for 38 is pretty good. But see, I'll tell you again, were the wickets taken or given? I mean, and as a bowler, Zaheer will know that. When these wickets are you getting wickets because the batsmen are trying to hit and get out, or are you getting wickets because you...
And also the impact, I think, Rohit had that impact on the game, right from the word go, and to chase down totals close to 200, and you scoring 100, you deserve to be man of the match.
No, fair point. I mean, I think Kuldeep's performance was so different because he bamboozled the opposition. He really put them in a position, and it was the opposite. He set it up.
Correct.
KL Rahul finished it off.
Absolutely.
Here it was,
yeah.
I mean...
And Kuldeep in that game actually changed the momentum of the game. Till that point, England were cruising. And he actually created that shift. So that's something, which really went in his favour, even though KL Rahul scored that 100.
And let's not forget, I mean, we tend to give a lot of emphasis on 50s and 100s. Let's not forget Virat Kohli, his partnership today, and his consistency through the series. We're so used to expecting so much from him that if he hasn't got 100 or a 50, let's not even talk about him. But
absolutely, and you look at this. There was that one shot which is, hit over mid-off for 4. I mean, on the offside, sorry, for 6. The offside 6s are, I think they're the sort of bellwethers of form. Moment you see a shot like that, you say, fine, this summer is going to go well for India.
And that was that partnership that really sealed it for India. Because when Virat Kohli came out to bat, I mean, it was that brilliant catch, KL Rahul gone, Shikhar Dhawan gone. England would have felt that, yes, we can get in. Let's get one more wicket. Let's get Rohit out. And that could have set the cat among the pigeons.
Stuff, yeah.
And that 89 of 57 partnership really sealed the entire series for India.
In the whole scenario now of batting order, I think someone who really has to step up now and learn to bat at a position which he is not used to is Suresh Raina, because he's used to batting at number 3. He's been creating that impact at number 3, but seems like the way things are going between Rohit, Shikhar, Virat and KL Rahul, I think he's not going to get that spot very soon now. So he'll have to adapt himself to really play consistently well at that number 5, which he's not used to.
Very interesting point, because he was the only one in that Ireland series of 2. Remember, we were talking about the batting order changes. Only Suresh Raina batted at 3 in both games. He also batted at 3 in South Africa. And now that the position's been taken away, as Zaheer said, he'll have to get used to something new.
That's one. Two is that my sense also is that, it's also horses for courses. If you're in India, Raina batting at a 3, in spin-heavy conditions, Raina is one of the greatest batsmen in the world. I mean, 10 IPLs have shown you what he can do with the bat. But Raina in international conditions, if this summer starts to look a bit more like an England summer, and they don't have that many spinners as well, so this is not his ideal condition. So his adjustment is more difficult, and I think they gave him that time to adjust. That's why they gave him those 2 matches in Ireland to say, can you make this spot your own? And obviously he hasn't, and I think the people who have grabbed it now, it's going to be very difficult to see any of those 2 people detached right now, because the moment Raina, because you saw Rahul today, he got out, but did you see the timing he had? Even in the shot that he got out, he looked as if he had so much time and so much time as well as timing. And so I can't see Raina coming back that easy, and this is going to be a conundrum, because I'm not sure Raina is the greatest number 5 player for India.
I think he'll have to adapt, because if that number 5 position is useful in ODIs as well, because at that stage you can actually, a lot of teams are approaching ODI format now with 30 and 20 overs, looking to have wickets in hand, and then approaching those last 20 overs as T20 game, and that's where in that last 5 overs of power play you look to up the ante, and that's something which I think Indian team management is keeping in mind with having Raina at number 5.
Well, let's update both of you and update everyone watching Cricbuzz Live. Hardik Pandya is not the man of the match.
Well played. Well played. That's a bit of deception there, Gautam.
With Kuldeep not on the side, somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it.
So
nicely done.
It is very much Rohit Sharma, and we probably expect him to be man of the series as well, which he is. So well deserved. What a way to finish for him. And I think that augurs well, not just for this particular series, but as we're going to start looking ahead to the one-day series, that's going to be the best news for India. Rohit Sharma up there, in form, hungry, probably looking for another double.
Yeah, Rohit in form, Virat in form, Rahul looking ominously in form whenever he is playing, Shikhar looking good. I mean, this is an Indian thing. I mean, if there are any issues, if you have to ask yourself, the bowling, you'd like to see Bhuvneshwar Bhuvi come back fast, that's it. But otherwise, this summer is looking pretty good right now.
And what do they, if you're sitting here, if you're Owen Morgan, the management and the ground staff at Trent Bridge, remember the last time around they had in one-day international, England almost got 500 runs. Now, they will definitely not prepare a surface exactly like that one. Put India into bat there, it's goodbye. So what would that discussion be?
Well, the phone call must have gone by now, that saying that the wicket needs to have enough moisture in it, that there should be some sea movement and live grass, not the grass which is going to look good on a television screen, but actually going to do something to the bowlers, provide them that kind of help, because this Indian batting lineup, England doesn't have they need help from the wicket, to penetrate this batting lineup. They will have to create those kind of scenarios where they take early breakthroughs. If India consistently gets a good start, it's going to be very difficult for England to win matches. Yeah.
Zaheer, I wanted to ask you something. So you're saying that today you have Trent Bridge is going to be the next match. They have maybe 4 or 5 days to do it. Now, when say that's also the home of Nottinghamshire, so they play their matches there. How much can you tailor one wicket for a specific match? I mean, given that their normal wicket might be slightly different, what the county might need will be different from what England need. So if you get that call, if you're a groundsman and you get that call with 4 days to go, how much can you actually do? Can you do much?
Well, you can, I think, and also it depends on the surface as well. Like, the nature of the surface matters, and Trent Bridge over the years have been known to be bowling friendly wickets.
Correct, exactly.
It's not easy to get runs there. Having said that, there have been that match where England scored close to 500 runs on that track. So I don't know how the surface is behaving right now, but 4-5 days is it enough time to change the conditions in your favor and create a wicket which is going to be suitable for or tailor made for your advantage.
And do you see any other? Who else would come into this bowling attack? They wouldn't think.
Well, let's have a look. Since you've got onto that subject, why don't we quickly have a look at the squads? Remember, essentially the nucleus of both India and England will remain the same. The era of T20 specialists is over, but there will be a few new faces. The most notable from India's point of view will, of course, be Shardul Thakur, because there's no Jasprit Bumrah, so he is the like-for-like replacement there. So both Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar, who was playing today and won't be in this particular squad, both getting a look in the respective formats. So the other name to look at, Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, but
whether he gets into the 11 or not is a different matter altogether. I reckon you'd feel the 11 pretty much picks itself there again.
Absolutely. I don't think they can change very much from this, especially considering the success they have had.
Yeah.
England should be a different ball game altogether.
Yeah. Kuldeep will come back probably in place of Chahar from the playing 11 which was there today. Maybe the debate will be to persist with Suresh Raina or give Shreyas a go ahead. That's the only change I foresee.
And of course,
depending on Bhuvneshwar Kumar's fitness. Yeah. Which is a concern, I think, for the series and for Indian team. It is very important that Bhuvneshwar Kumar comes back as soon as possible.
Well, stiff back, again, given you're talking about pitches, stiff back, it's not the kind of injury you'd expect not to be rectified in a space of, say, 5 days.
Well, if it's a first time thing, then it's understandable. But this has been happening over the last few months, and that's the concern. If it's the same injury which is happening again and again, that raises a red flag, and that's something which only the concerned people will be able to answer, like what kind of situation he is in. But if he's out there and playing matches, it's important that he gets a few matches in bunch. Otherwise it's always very difficult to kind of keep starting and stopping. That doesn't really gives you that rhythm, and that at the highest level is very important.
Well, let's have a look at the opposition, the home side in this case. England, fresh off whitewash against what was the opposition?
Oh, the ones who keep losing matches. They lost to Pakistan today as well.
That side in green and gold.
Yeah.
Well, that's the England side again. Very, very similar to the T20 outfit.
I mean, there's nothing here which is going to change dramatically, except that suddenly maybe Joe Root's 120, 130 strike rate will become a bit more acceptable in this format. Having said that, who will he come in place of is something I think England is still not sorted. And it will be interesting to see what they do, because there isn't any other bowler out there who's a really...
Mark Wood probably will get a go ahead.
Ahead of...
he bowls that 90 plus consistently, and has got that Yorkers. England has been using him consistently in ODI format. So
yes, in that last series, Mark Wood played his part. Again, Jake Ball being the question mark there. Sam Curran is the outsider in a sense in this particular squad as things stand right now. People in the IPL would be very familiar with Tom Curran, of course. Played for KKR. And they've been having a bit of a battle between the two of them, the two brothers.
Absolutely, wow. But other than Mark Wood, I mean, the batting, if that's the batting, and again, Moeen Ali in a 50-over match, whether they give him a bit more of a go, it's quite possible that they give him a bit more of a go.
Yeah, I reckon that would be a fairly big... Again, if you're taking Moeen Ali coming back in and Joe Root in, then you have to take two people out. Johnny Best has obviously shown that he's in good form.
And Mark Wood coming in.
And Mark Wood, that's three.
Yeah.
And Johnny Bairstow, of course, has been coming right up the order, and he has been opening in ODI cricket. So that's a lot of headaches at the moment for Eoin Morgan, not just the fact that he's lost the series, but what to do to get things right, because it's not a long series unlike against the Australians. It's just 3 matches, and after that it's on to the tests.
Yeah, and if you look at it, they have about 3 more series after this to sort themselves before the World Cup. So obviously they are looking forward to 2019 as well. Very clearly, the whole mandate why Trevor Bayliss was brought in, all this was to prepare for that 2019 World Cup. And now they'll be looking and saying, we have a few more questions than we did maybe 2 weeks ago when we just beat those. I don't know who those guys in green.
Every time you say World Cup, I start thinking of a different sport, but we'll try and focus. Remember that the first ODI is going to be the morning after the semi-final that these boys are playing.
That should be.
So it could work one of two ways. They could be celebrating and they could go out.
You already predicted the result of that.
Yeah, I was just being cheeky over there. In my heart of hearts, I still feel that it's
going to be England.
Yeah, well,
in the finals,
it just seems destiny.
So it's England, France.
The other one I'm not calling because I've been predicting France throughout, and somehow Belgium are just looking really good. How have we started this discussion on football? It's inevitable. It's called Cricbuzz Live, and let's try and focus on the cricket. And of course, there's one very important factor to get through. So before we have our final thoughts, I've been itching to get that answer. I've been privy to sitting with Joy throughout watching this game, but he hasn't told me the answer, and I'm afraid I'm no better for it. So can you please help us and give it away?
Well, here it is, the question once again. If it was Kamran Rabbi of Bangladesh, Harry Conway of Australia, Sandeep Lamichhane of Nepal, which current Indian cricketer? These were all people who've taken hat-tricks in Under-19 World Cup cricket, and the person missing there was Kuldeep Yadav, who took one in 2014. I think it was against Scotland, and it was a fantastic. In fact, that was the first time, and while he was there, that was the first time he really showed, caught the attention of everyone around, saying that okay, this is a bowler to look out for. And a month later, he was taken at the auction.
Yes.
By who we are not even going there.
Spot on. I mean, if only this Joy factor was being watched in the Indian dressing room, he would have been in the 11th today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he needed to be there today. Not that today they got away without him, but yeah, I still think he needed to be there.
But I don't think there's any question that he's going to be in the 11 for the ODIs. But right now, before we even talk about that and final thoughts, let's get to our winner, because we had lots and lots of answers coming in, and maybe with Lamichhane, that could have perhaps been the hint in terms of Molloy Patro, got that one right? Yeah, Molloy Patro, very simple. I was hoping for some very cool Twitter handle, but it's not, at Molloy_Patro. And he's winning it for the first time. We have a lot of
I haven't seen this name before.
Second, third, fourth timers coming in here. Well done. We had lots and lots of answers coming in, of course, for that particular answer. Kuldeep Yadav, 2014, Dubai it was?
Dubai.
Yes, it was. In Dubai against Scotland, and Sandeep Lamichhane also, who caught the eye. The other two didn't really make any impact in terms of...
None of them played. I think one of them is left cricketer by now. I think Harry Conway is left cricketer.
Yes. Kamran Rabbi is still playing very much in the Bangladesh Premier League. Maybe he needs to just take one more and step it up.
Yeah.
Final thoughts going ahead from one format to another. Not too much of a change nowadays, because often T20 internationals used to be just a one-off somewhere squeezed in. Now it's a big series. India have won the series. So it's almost better than a warm-up game. It's the best way to go into a one-day series.
Absolutely, I think it's going to be exciting series for sure, and this T20 series has set the tone for the remainder of the series for sure. So ODI, very, very excited to see the ODI contest as well now between England and India.
Yes, and of course India have they're right up there in terms of T20 internationals. Just a reminder, Pakistan winning earlier today against Australia in Harare. That makes it 9 for them. India close on their heels with 6 consecutive series wins.
And on that note, I have to say, the best thing for the Indian team today to do is for Virat to give up his fitness for one day. It's Saurav Ganguly's birthday. Today is the day you go back to the dressing room, have some nice biryani for a change, and say that, okay, give up your fitness and your salads for a day. It's Dada's birthday. Biryani to celebrate, and then go on to the one-day series.
Yep, that's a good way to end. Always leaves us on a hungry note, tells Joy. We nearly get through an entire show, no mention of food. Earlier in the afternoon, it was chai and pakoras, and of course, we had to go and do that. Now it's biryani. We've got to go and find something very urgently right now. Big thank you to Joy. Big thank you to Zaheer Khan. We'll be back on Cricbuzz Live with a different format, 50 overs, and it's going to be on the the 12th of July. That, of course, is also a time we're going to be talking about a very special anniversary of Indian cricket, but nothing more about that right now. 4:30 in the afternoon, Trent Bridge, Nottingham. That, of course, is not far from the home of Robin Hood. So the question is, who is going to be robbing from the rich and who are they going to be giving it to? India versus England next time on Cricbuzz Live.